Let me see. We live. Let's test this out. Okay, so I got a subto deal. We got some missing details on here. So let's go through this. So this is 9607 Malkier Drive, Killeen, Texas, 76542. Total entry fee, 30 grand. Monthly PITI, 1825.17. Solar balance, 30,858. Let's go 30,858. 1.99 interest rate, 1.99. They didn't tell me how many months this was for. They also didn't tell me what the loan balance was for on this property. They only told me that the total payment is 1976.17. So, okay, let's just do 316 minus the cash seller minus the principal. So I'm going to back into what the loan balance is just to get it clear, because honestly, it doesn't really matter, because here's why. The most important number is this number of 1976.17. So this is going to be a good example of what do you do when you're missing some information. And if your goal, again, is to simply figure out whether or not this is worth your time to continue analyzing the deal further, then this is what you want to do, okay? All right, so on this property, we have a asking price of 316. This picture looks like it's relatively turnkey. I'm just going to assume there's $12,000 rehab. I'm not going to over-engineer this. Now, when I go to the property tax number, I'm going to use this 1976.17, which is a total number, 1976.17. I'm going to subtract the principal, the interest, the principal, and interest. So I'm going to subtract the payments of the sub-2 loan, which I'm taking over subject to the existing financing. And then I'm going to add another number for the principal and the interest for the loan amount. And that gets me to 834. So it doesn't matter, right? I get to the same total amount for taxes, insurance, and everything. I'm going to add extra $30 because I'm assuming someone's living there as a primary residence property. And usually a investment property will cost a little bit more. So I'm adding extra $30 a month. Okay. Now I know that the number in here already includes HOA. So I'm not going to double count the HOA expenses here, which I saw was 33. So I'm not going to add that here because I already included that amount. So I'm setting aside 10% of my property every single month for 10%. And then I'm going to have 8% for property management. I got 5% for vacancy. And now all I care about is what is my rent every single month. So for this property, let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up really quick. Okay. What county is this in? Killeen. What county is this one? If I just Google county, Bell County. All right. So when I Google HUD FMR, and I just look at the first link up top, I'm going to click on access to small area FMRs, look up FY 2024 FMRs. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Bell County. And then I got the zip code, which is 76542, 76542. And you're going to see that the rent ceiling here is $2,040. Okay, so I don't care about 3-bedroom because it's already a 4-bedroom. So this is 76542, 76542. Don't care about that. And now I'm going to get the rent for a 4-bedroom. So when I go to affordablehousing.com, I go to the owner section, go to market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in background. And now I see that the average rents for, what is going on here? 6,658.24 miles. Something's really wonky with this data today. What is going on? Huh. When I reloaded. Okay, there we go. So a quick reload worked it. 2,045. Okay, so somehow, some way, that's like on the money, where the ceiling was 2040 and the market rent is 2045. So within a a $5 difference. Okay. 1851, 1745, 1851. Okay. So I'm going to use the lower of the two. In this case, I'm going to just use 2040 because that's probably the rent here, right? Now, 2040 is technically higher than your PITI when you first looked at the deal. But after you subtract all the expenses, right? Which means you're setting aside 10% every single month for maintenance because something will always break at your home, from your roofs to your HVAC that needs to get replaced. All these items mean because this is money that doesn't belong to you. And that's why you got to set aside a month every single month for maintenance, like lawn maintenance, etc. Just like every once in a while, the plumbing is going to have issues. So it's really unrealistic for you that number to be zero. So I will never say your cash flow net is just your PITI, your rent minus your PITI, because that's definitely not the case. Okay. Now that we put in all these numbers, we got a negative 10.5%, assuming you're renting it out for a 4-bedroom at 2040. You'll be negative $435 a month, and that's a negative 10.5%. And that was assuming you had a purchase price of 316 grand with a rehab of $12,000. Now, again, let's recap what we did. We saw the deal details. We plugged in asking price. We had a quick estimate. Probably could be lower, but it doesn't matter because it's a negative cash flowing deal. We put in the entry fee. We did not know what the underlying loan balance was, but what we did was we just simply backed into it just by getting the asking price minus the down payment minus the other lien that's still on the property, and we just got that amount. We plugged in interest rate, but it doesn't matter because what you're worried about is the total number that was disclosed. And the total number that was disclosed today for the PITI was 1976.17, and that includes the HOA. So when you include that into HOA, you just take that number and you subtract the principal and the interest portion of the subto loan, and you also subtract the principal and interest portion of the solar lien, I believe that's what it was. And now you back into your total amount, and then you take the rent and you subtract all these expenses from it to get to your total PITI. I mean, to your total net cash flow number. When you have your total net cash flow number, now all of a sudden you can decide whether, one, is this deal worth me and my time to go deeper into the property to analyze the deal? And two, if it is, do I send a contractor out there? Do I get boots on the ground to look at a deal and take pictures of the property, et cetera, et cetera? And in this scenario, because it's already negative cash flow, for my exit strategy specifically, it's not even 10% cash on cash return, and it's a negative cash flow deal. So for me, it's not worth my time. And again, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments at all on this call. I'm just simply showing you guys the work I do every single day to put in the reps, to do the exercise, and to understand every market a little bit better. It's all about putting in the reps. So that's all it is. So that's it. That's it for Friday. And that's how we went through a deal and we analyzed the deal. And just remember, right, what matters the most is that you do the work and you analyze the deals every single day. If you guys ever want to learn and become skilled at something, well, all it takes is just 18 minutes a day doing something consistently over time. And today we're going to spend 8 minutes. But over time, you're going to quickly figure out what is a deal and what it's not a deal. And the quicker you're able to spot whether or not something is a deal, or better yet, no, it's not a deal, the quicker you can move on. And that's how you avoid burnout. We usually get burnt out when we do a ton of work for no results. And that typically happens when you analyze deals and you look at a lot of bad deals. So that's why we do this. That's why we analyze the deals together. And my sincere hope is that you just copy my homework. Look at the same deal I analyzed today, using the same spreadsheet. Just DM me your email on Instagram at InvestWithKenHee if you want me to send you a copy of the spreadsheet. And my team will send it to you. It's not my spreadsheet. I've been given a spreadsheet by other folks, and I just kind of modified and tweaked it so that I can analyze deals really quick, really fast for my own purposes, because this is my own process. And you're going to figure out your own process. And my hope is that when you put it on your own YouTube channel, after you analyze these deals, you just pick one part of the video that I did today and just explain it better. Use a better analogy. Explain it a little bit differently in a way that makes sense to you and yourself, so that when a partner asks you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? Well, at that point in time, you just copied all my homework from day one, you would have had 237 videos on your own YouTube channel. And you can say, hey, I probably know this is a deal because I looked at 237 deals that were not deals. Might that give yourself a little bit more confidence that you know what you're doing? I certainly hope so. So I hope you all have an amazing Friday today. I hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today. And I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with my daughter playing tonight. So have an amazing Friday. For those of you that will not tune in during the weekend, I hope you have an amazing Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys spend some quality time, really. Maybe you're just grilling burgers or whatever, but enjoy the time with the family. I'll be back here again tomorrow for day 238. Have a good one, everyone. Happy Friday and happy Memorial Day weekend.